You know what changes everything? It's when you start living as if what you've asked for has already arrived. Not pretending, not faking it, but genuinely feeling grateful for something that hasn't shown up yet in your physical reality. This is one of the most powerful principles you'll ever learn, and it goes against everything most of us were taught about how life works. Most people wait. They wait for the job, then they'll be happy. They wait for the relationship, then they'll feel complete. They wait for the money, then they'll feel abundant. They wait for the healing, then they'll feel grateful. But that's backwards. That's completely backwards. And it's why so many people spend their entire lives waiting for something that never comes. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. It responds to your vibration, your energy, your state of being. And when you're in a state of wanting, you're actually broadcasting lack. You're telling the universe, I don't have this. I'm incomplete without this. I'm not whole right now. And the universe, in its perfect matching system, keeps giving you more experiences of not having it. But when you thank God before the promise arrives, when you feel genuine gratitude for what you've asked for before it shows up, you shift everything. You shift your entire energy field. You move from a state of lack to a state of abundance. You move from wanting to having. And that shift, that internal shift, is what allows the physical manifestation to occur. Think about it for a moment. When you're truly grateful for something, how do you feel? You feel full. You feel complete. You feel joy. You feel peace. There's no anxiety, no worry, no desperation. You're not checking your watch wondering when it's going to arrive. You're not lying awake at night hoping it comes soon. You're at peace because in your heart, in your being, it's already done. This is what faith really means. Not hoping, not wishing, not begging. Faith is knowing. It's a deep inner knowing that what you've asked for is already yours in the spiritual realm, and it's just a matter of time before it shows up in the physical realm. And when you know something, really know it, you don't worry about it, you don't stress about it, you simply give thanks for it. I've seen this principle work in my own life countless times, and I've watched it transform the lives of thousands of people. There was a time when I wanted to write books that would help people. I didn't have a publisher, I didn't have any connections in the publishing world, I didn't have anything except a desire and a message. But I started thanking God for the opportunity to share these messages with the world. I started feeling grateful for the readers who would be touched by the words. I started living as if it was already happening. And you know what happened? The doors opened. The opportunities came. The books got published. But here's the key. It didn't happen because I was desperate and anxious and trying to force it. It happened because I was grateful and peaceful and aligned with the energy of what I wanted to create. This is how the universe works. It's always matching your inner state with your outer circumstances. Always. There are no exceptions to this. When you're grateful, you attract more things to be grateful for. When you're abundant in your thinking, you attract more abundance. When you're peaceful, you attract more peace. It's a law, just like gravity. You don't have to believe in gravity for it to work. You don't have to understand it. It just works. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but how can I be grateful for something I don't have? Isn't that lying? Isn't that being fake? And I understand that question because I've asked it myself. But here's what I've learned. Gratitude before the manifestation isn't about being fake. It's about being aligned with a higher truth. You see, in the spiritual dimension, in the realm of infinite possibilities, everything already exists. Every outcome, every possibility, every potential future is already there. When you desire something, when you have a dream or a goal, that desire was placed in your heart by the same source that creates worlds. That source, that creative intelligence, that God doesn't put desires in your heart that can't be fulfilled. That would be cruel, and the universe isn't cruel. It's abundant. It's generous. It's always saying yes. So when you thank God before the promise arrives, you're not being fake. You're acknowledging a truth that exists beyond what your physical eyes can see. You're saying, I know this is already done in the spiritual realm, and I'm grateful for it now. You're not waiting for permission from the physical world to feel good. You're claiming you're good now. This is what Jesus meant when he said, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Not believe that you will receive it someday. Believe that you have received it. Present tense. It's already done. And when you believe something is already done, you give thanks for it. You don't beg for it. You don't plead for it. You give thanks. Let me tell you about a woman who came to one of my talks years ago. She was in terrible financial trouble. She was about to lose her home. She had been praying and worrying and stressing and doing everything she could think of to solve the problem, but nothing was working. She was desperate, and that desperation was actually blocking the very thing she needed. I shared this principle with her, thank God before the promise. She looked at me like I was crazy. She said, how can I thank God when I'm about to lose everything? And I said, that's exactly why you need to thank God, because your current approach isn't working. Try something different. She decided to try it. Every day, multiple times a day, she started giving thanks for the financial provision she needed. She started feeling grateful for her home being saved. She started acting as if the money was already on its way, and something shifted in her. The anxiety began to fade. The desperation began to lift. She started to feel peaceful. And then the miracles started happening. An old friend called out of nowhere and offered her work. A family member she hadn't heard from in years sent her money as a gift. An unexpected refund came in the mail. One thing after another, the money she needed showed up. Not all at once, but steadily, perfectly, in divine timing. Her home was saved. But more than that, she learned a principle that would serve her for the rest of her life. This is what I'm trying to help you understand. Your gratitude isn't dependent on what shows up in your life. What shows up in your life is dependent on your gratitude. You've got to reverse the order. You've got to stop waiting for things to change before you feel grateful. You've got to feel grateful, and then things will change. Now, I can hear some of you saying, but what about action? Don't I need to do something? Can I just sit around being grateful and expect everything to fall into my lap? And that's a fair question. But here's what I've learned. When you're in a state of gratitude, when you're aligned with the energy of what you want, the right actions become obvious. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to struggle. The universe begins to guide you. Opportunities appear, doors open, people show up. And you find yourself taking inspired action, not desperate action. There's a huge difference between inspired action and desperate action. Desperate action comes from fear, from lack, from the belief that you have to make it happen or it won't happen. That kind of action is exhausting. It's stressful. And usually, it doesn't work very well. But inspired action comes from a place of peace, from alignment, from the inner knowing that you're being guided. That kind of action is effortless, it's joyful, and it produces amazing results. When you thank God before the promise, you open yourself up to inspired action. You stop trying to control everything. You stop forcing. You stop pushing. You allow the universe to work through you instead of trying to do everything yourself. And that's when miracles happen. That's when synchronicities occur. That's when life starts to flow. I remember when I wanted to reach more people with this message. I could have gone about it the desperate way, calling everyone I knew, begging for opportunities, forcing doors open, exhausting myself trying to make it happen. But instead, I gave thanks. I gave thanks for the platforms that would come. I gave thanks for the audiences that would hear the message. I gave thanks for the impact that would be made. And I waited for the inspired action. And it came. Opportunities appeared that I never could have orchestrated myself. Invitations came from places I never would have thought to contact. The message spread in ways I never could have planned. And it all happened with ease, with grace, with divine timing. Not because I'm special, but because I was aligned with a principle that works for anyone who applies it. You can do this too. Whatever you're asking for, whatever you're hoping for, whatever you're dreaming about, you can start thanking God for it right now. You don't have to wait. You don't need permission. You don't need to see it first. You can start giving thanks today, right now, this moment. And when you do, something beautiful happens inside of you. You begin to feel different. The heavy weight of worry starts to lift. The tight knot of anxiety begins to loosen. You start to feel lighter, freer, more peaceful. And as you feel different, you start to act different. You start to show up in the world differently. You start to notice opportunities you were blind to before. You start to meet people who can help you. You start to receive ideas and insights that move you forward. This is the power of gratitude. It doesn't just make you feel good, although it does that. It actually changes your energy field. It changes what you're broadcasting to the universe. And when you change what you're broadcasting, you change what you're attracting. It's that simple. It's that profound. Now, let me be clear about something. This isn't about positive thinking in the way most people understand it. This isn't about putting on a happy face and pretending everything is fine when it's not. This isn't about denial. This is about alignment with a higher truth. This is about recognizing that there's a spiritual reality that's more real than the physical reality you see with your eyes. Your eyes show you what has been. They show you the results of your past thinking, your past beliefs, your past energy. But your imagination, your faith, your gratitude, these things connect you to what can be. They connect you to the infinite field of possibilities. They connect you to the creative power of the universe. And that creative power is always ready to work with you, through you, as you, to bring about the things you desire. But you have to cooperate with it. You have to align with it. And the way you align with it is through your thoughts, your feelings, your words, and your energy. When you're complaining, you're not aligned. When you're worrying, you're not aligned. When you're focusing on what's wrong, you're not aligned. But when you're grateful, when you're appreciative, when you're acknowledging the good that's coming, you're perfectly aligned. Think about the people in your life who are truly happy, truly successful, truly fulfilled. I'm not talking about people who just have a lot of money or a lot of stuff. I'm talking about people who are genuinely at peace, who love their lives, who seem to have a magic touch with everything they do. If you pay attention, you'll notice something about these people. They're grateful. They appreciate what they have. They focus on the good. They expect good things to happen. And because of that, good things do happen. And then think about the people who are always struggling, always stressed, always complaining about how hard life is. What do they focus on? What do they talk about? What's their energy like? They're focused on what's wrong. They're talking about their problems. Their energy is heavy, negative, contracted. And guess what? They keep attracting more problems, more struggle, more hardship. Not because the universe is punishing them, but because they're aligned with struggle. They're broadcasting struggle, so they're receiving struggle. You have a choice. You can be in either group. You can focus on what's wrong and attract more of what's wrong, or you can focus on what's good and attract more of what's good. You can wait for things to change before you feel grateful, or you can feel grateful and watch things change. You can live in the energy of lack, or you can live in the energy of abundance. It's completely up to you. And here's the beautiful thing. You can make that choice right now. You don't have to wait for anything. You don't have to have more money, more time, more anything. You can start right now, exactly where you are, with exactly what you have, and begin to shift your energy by giving thanks. Start small if you need to. Give thanks for the air you're breathing. Give thanks for the fact that your heart is beating without you having to think about it. Give thanks for the roof over your head, the food in your kitchen, the people who love you. As you begin to appreciate what you have, you'll find more and more things to appreciate. Gratitude grows. It expands. It multiplies. And as you build this muscle of gratitude for what is, you'll find it easier to feel grateful for what's coming. You'll find it easier to thank God before the promise arrives. You'll find it easier to live in the energy of having rather than wanting. And that's when your life really begins to transform. I've watched people heal their bodies with this principle. I've watched people heal their relationships. I've watched people transform their finances. I've watched people create careers they love. I've watched people find peace after years of anxiety, all because they learned to give thanks before the manifestation appeared in their physical reality. Your body is listening to your thoughts. Your cells are responding to your energy. When you're grateful, when you're peaceful, when you're joyful, your body functions better. Your immune system works better, your healing accelerates. But when you're stressed, when you're worried, when you're afraid, your body suffers. Your health declines. Your energy drops. So when you have a health challenge, instead of giving all your attention to the illness, start giving thanks for the healing. Start seeing yourself well. Start feeling the energy of perfect health flowing through your body. Not someday, now. Thank God for your healthy, vibrant, energetic body now. And as you do, you're sending a powerful message to every cell in your body. You're telling your body what to create. You're aligning with wellness instead of illness. The same principle applies to relationships. If you want to attract a loving partner, you can't sit around feeling lonely and incomplete. That energy will attract more loneliness. But if you start feeling grateful for the love that's coming, if you start feeling complete and whole now, if you start treating yourself with the love and respect you want from a partner, you shift your energy. You become magnetic to love. You attract what you are, not what you want. And if you're in a relationship that's struggling, instead of focusing on everything that's wrong with your partner, start giving thanks for the good in them. Start appreciating the positive qualities. Start being grateful for the love you share. As you shift your focus from what's wrong to what's right, the relationship begins to shift. Your partner begins to show up differently, not because they changed, but because you changed the way you're seeing them, and that changes everything. This is true for every area of your life, your career, your finances, your health, your relationships, your creativity, your purpose, everything. The principle is always the same. Thank God before the promise. Live in the energy of having. Align with what you want by feeling grateful for it now. Now, I know that some of you have been asking for things for a long time. Maybe you've been praying for years and you haven't seen the results yet. Maybe you're starting to lose faith. Maybe you're wondering if this really works. And I want to say to you, don't give up. Don't stop. Keep giving thanks. Keep holding the vision. Keep feeling the gratitude. Sometimes there's a time lag between when you plant the seed and when you see the harvest. You don't plant a seed today and expect to eat the fruit tomorrow. You plant the seed, you water it, you give it sunlight, and you trust that underneath the soil something is growing. You don't dig it up every day to check on it. You trust the process. You trust the timing. You trust that the harvest will come. It's the same with your desires. When you ask for something, when you pray for something, when you set an intention for something, that's like planting a seed in the spiritual realm. And as you give thanks, as you water that seed with your gratitude, as you give it the light of your positive expectation, it's growing. You may not see it yet, but it's growing. And at the perfect time, in the perfect way, it will appear in your physical reality. But if you keep digging it up with your doubt, if you keep drowning it with your worry, if you keep blocking the light with your fear, you're interfering with the process. You're getting in your own way. You've got to trust. You've got to let go. You've got to allow the universe to do its work. This doesn't mean you become passive. It doesn't mean you stop taking action. It means you stop forcing. It means you stop trying to control every detail of how it's going to happen. It means you do what's yours to do and trust that the universe will do what's its to do. You take care of the how and let God take care of the when and the what. And while you're waiting for the manifestation, while you're in that gap between the asking and the receiving, that's the time to practice gratitude. That's the time to strengthen your faith. That's the time to align your energy. That's the time to become the person who has what you're asking for. Because here's another important truth. Sometimes the delay is actually a blessing. Sometimes the universe is preparing you. Sometimes you're not ready for what you've asked for yet. Sometimes you need to grow, to learn, to evolve into the version of yourself who can handle what's coming. And if it came too soon before you were ready, it might overwhelm you or harm you or not last. So the waiting period isn't punishment. It's preparation. It's a time for you to become. It's a time for you to align. It's a time for you to practice living in the energy of what you want before it arrives. And as you practice, as you grow, as you evolve, you're becoming a match for your desire. You're becoming ready to receive it. And when you're ready, when you're truly ready, when you're aligned, when you're grateful, when you're expecting it, that's when it shows up. Not a moment too soon, not a moment too late. In perfect divine timing, always, I've learned to trust this timing in my own life. There were things I wanted that didn't come when I thought they should, and I was frustrated. I was disappointed. I was questioning why it was taking so long. But looking back now, I can see that the timing was perfect. I can see that I wasn't ready. I can see that I needed to learn certain lessons, develop certain qualities, become a certain person before I could receive what I had asked for. And when it finally came, it was better than I imagined because I was ready for it. So wherever you are in your process right now, whatever you're waiting for, whatever you're hoping for, I want you to know that it's on its way. It's coming. The universe heard your request. The answer is yes. And your job is to give thanks, to stay aligned, to keep your energy high, and to trust the timing. Don't look at your current circumstances and let them discourage you. Your current circumstances are just showing you where you've been, not where you're going. They're showing you the results of your old thinking, your old beliefs, your old energy. But you're creating something new now. You're thinking differently now. You're feeling differently now. You're being grateful now. And that new energy is creating new circumstances. You just haven't seen them yet. It's like when you're driving a car and you turn the steering wheel. The car doesn't change direction instantly. There's a moment where you've turned the wheel, but the car is still going in the old direction. But if you keep the wheel turned, the car will change direction. It has to. It's a law of physics. And if you keep your thoughts, your feelings, your energy turned toward what you want, your life will change direction. It has to. It's a law of the universe. So don't give up during that moment when you've turned the wheel, but nothing seems to be changing yet. Don't panic. Don't doubt. Don't go back to the old way of thinking. Keep the wheel turned. Keep giving thanks. Keep feeling grateful. Keep expecting the good. And watch what happens. Watch how your life begins to shift. Watch how opportunities appear. Watch how doors open. Watch how the right people show up. Watch how things fall into place in ways you never could have orchestrated. This is the magic of living in gratitude. This is the power of thanking God before the promise. This is what it means to walk by faith and not by sight. You're not letting what you see with your physical eyes determine how you feel. You're letting what you know in your spirit determine how you feel. And what you know in your spirit is that you're a beloved child of the universe, that you're here for a purpose, that you're supported, that you're guided, that everything you need is already provided for you. When you know this, really know this, down in the core of your being, you can relax. You can let go of the struggle. You can stop trying to force and control everything. You can trust. You can give thanks. You can live in joy, in peace, in expectation of good things, regardless of what your current circumstances look like. And as you live this way, as you practice this way of being, you become a light to others. You become an inspiration. People look at you and wonder how you can be so peaceful when life is so challenging. They wonder how you can be so positive when things aren't going your way. They wonder what you know that they don't know. And you get to share this principle with them. You get to tell them about the power of gratitude. You get to show them how to thank God before the promise. This is how we change the world, one person at a time. As each of us learns to live in gratitude, to live in faith, to live in alignment with the creative power of the universe, we raise the vibration of the entire planet. We become examples of what's possible. We become proof that there's another way to live. We become living demonstrations of divine principles in action. So I encourage you today, right now, to make a decision. Decide that you're going to live in gratitude from this moment forward. Decide that you're going to thank God before the promise arrives. Decide that you're going to align your energy with what you want instead of what you don't want. Decide that you're going to trust the process, trust the timing, trust the universe, and then follow through on that decision. When you wake up in the morning, before you even get out of bed, give thanks. Give thanks for the new day. Give thanks for the opportunities coming your way. Give thanks for the desires of your heart being fulfilled. Feel it. Feel the gratitude. Let it fill your heart. Let it flood your being. Throughout your day, as often as you remember, pause and give thanks. Turn your attention away from worry, away from fear, away from doubt, and turn it toward gratitude. Thank God for your health, your provision, your relationships, your purpose, your creativity, everything. And especially thank God for the things you've asked for that haven't shown up yet. Thank God for the promise before it arrives. And at night, before you go to sleep, spend a few moments in gratitude again. Review your day and find things to appreciate. And then give thanks again for what's coming. Give thanks for the next day. Give thanks for the unfolding of your good. Let gratitude be the last thing you feel before you drift off to sleep. Because the energy you go to sleep in is the energy you wake up in. As you make this a practice, as you make this a way of life, you'll begin to notice changes. You'll notice that you feel better. You'll notice that things start to go more smoothly. You'll notice that you're attracting different experiences, different people, different opportunities. You'll notice that life becomes easier, more joyful, more fulfilling. You'll notice that the things you've been asking for start to show up, often in unexpected ways, often better than you imagined. And when they do show up, when the promise becomes reality, don't forget to give thanks again. Don't take it for granted. Don't just move on to the next thing you want. Stop and appreciate what you've received. Celebrate it. Let yourself feel the joy of it. Let yourself feel the satisfaction of knowing that the principle works, that the universe delivered, that your faith was rewarded. Because when you celebrate what you've received, when you truly appreciate it, you're telling the universe, yes, more of this, please. I'm ready for more good. I'm open to more blessings. And the universe, in its generous nature, will send more. There's no limit to what you can receive when you're truly grateful for what you have. This is the life you were meant to live. A life of abundance, of joy, of peace, of fulfillment. Not a life of struggle, of lack, of worry, of fear. You weren't put here to suffer. You weren't put here to barely get by. You were put here to thrive, to create, to express the fullness of who you are, to enjoy this incredible experience of being human. And the key to living that life is right here in this principle. Thank God before the promise. Live in gratitude now. Align with abundance now. Feel the joy now. Be at peace now. Don't wait for circumstances to change. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for proof. Just start. Start today. Start now. Start with one simple thank you and build from there. Your life is waiting to transform. Your good is waiting to arrive. Your dreams are waiting to manifest. but they're waiting for you. They're waiting for you to align with them. They're waiting for you to be grateful for them. They're waiting for you to thank God before they arrive. So do it. Make the choice. Feel the gratitude. Trust the process. And watch as your life begins to reflect back to you the beauty, the abundance, the love that you're broadcasting from within. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your opportunity to step into the life you've always wanted. And it all begins with a simple, heartfelt thank you.